In news from Parliament, House members are expected to begin debate today on an amendment to the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, which extends certain tax exemptions for another 3 months. However, debate was postponed. We can also tell you that government leader in the House of Assembly responsible for business, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage, told parliamentarians that certain developments had taken place that relate to Grand Bahama, and the Prime Minister will travel to Geneva, Switzerland to meet with parties interested in improving the economic situation in Freeport. Parliamentarians will meet again next Wednesday.
As the Parliamentary Registration Department prepares for the general election, officials say the voters list is growing. Parliamentary Registrar Sherlyn Hall says since last month, the registration has grown by some 4,000 here in New Providence alone. He says he expects the overall numbers to increase once figures from Grand Bahama and the Family Islands are included. And while the Parliamentary Registrar is encouraging eligible voters to register, he says the department is challenged in the area of resources.
I again appeal to those agencies, please release the persons to the Parliamentary Registration Department, those who have not already done so, to help us to complete this national exercise to compile the new 2017 register in preparations for the 27th general election. So a few agencies are still holding up back on their staff, and I would kindly wish to appeal to you, please cooperate. Not just for love of country, but it is the right thing to do.
Well, with that registration drive underway, political parties are rallying support in hopes of securing a win on Election Day. Last evening, the Free National Movement held a constituency meeting at the Doris Johnson High School in the East. Jared Higgs tells us that the candidates for Fox Hill and Elizabeth constituencies were introduced as well.
Leader of the opposition, Free National Movement, Dr. Hubert Minnis, charges that the country needs change. Last night, he introduced 2 members of the team he says will help to put the country back on track. For the Fox Hill constituency, it will be Chanel Ferguson, a former Olympic sprinter. Ferguson used the song Love Train as her theme music and invited Fox Hill to jump on.
This is the train that will take you to the new Bahamas. This is the train that will take you to the new Fox Hill. There is space for all of you. Come with us. Come with the F&M.
Noted physician Dr. Dwayne Sands will contest the Elizabeth constituency for a 3rd time. In a fiery speech, he hit out at the area member of Parliament, Ryan Pinder, on his cabinet resignation. Criticizing the government's national health insurance proposal, Sands says if elected, the F&M will bring about greater changes in health care.
They will deny saying that NHI was going to end the cookouts, and what they're going to give you is some watered-down primary care. But when the F&M comes to power, ladies and gentlemen, my leader and I and we will introduce real health care.
Addressing supporters, Dr. Minnis committed to land reform, ensuring that Bahamians will have access to a piece of the rock. He also spoke of reforms to the current value-added tax schedule.
We will remove the VAT of bread basket items. We will remove the VAT of health care. We will remove VAT of education. We will remove VAT of utilities so that you pay no more VAT on light and water.
At the end of the rally, we got a closer look at some of the other contenders the F&M will put forward. Dr. Minnis alluded to the party's Secretary General Michael Folks as a candidate for Golden Gates, while Kenyatta Gibson will look to run in Golden Isles. It also appears that 4 sitting MPs, Dr. Andre Rollins, Renwood Wells, Theo Neely and Hubert Chipman, will run again in their respective constituencies. Jared Higgs, ZNS Network News.
Well, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Bradley Roberts has blasted the F&M leader, Dr. Hubert Minnis, saying he's trying to derail and destroy a somewhat fragile economic recovery program led by the government for the last 45 months. Minnis has said if given the opportunity to serve, he would immediately slash government revenue by hundreds of millions of dollars annually, apparently by removing VAT from certain items. Now, while addressing the party's Mount Moriah constituency branch meeting last night, Mr. Roberts said such a move would strip a sizable portion of the revenue base, which made it possible for government to eliminate 90% of the huge budget deficits left behind by Minnis and the F&M in 2012. He said implementing VAT was critical to stabilizing the country's public finances. Calling Minis more destructive and reckless than the former F&M leader, Roberts called the proposal worse and more ill-advised than the stop, review, and cancel F&M policy. Roberts said international financial and credit agencies have confirmed that the PLP's medium-term fiscal consolidation plan was a success, and government is on target to eliminate 90% of the fiscal deficit inherited, and did so without impacting job security in the public service. Now he says the country emerged from this recession and from its structural challenges a stronger and more prosperous nation. The PLP chairman then reminded Minis that leadership involves making the right decision, which oftentimes is tough and unpopular, but necessary for the long-term and overall national good.
On to other news this Wednesday. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has spent some $1.7 million in efforts to return those family islands devastated by Hurricane Joaquin to normalcy. NEMA's director, Captain Stephen Russell, says the figure represents money spent sending people and supplies to the islands and repairs to homes damaged during the storm. For the repair program, Captain Russell says the agency's first priority was senior citizens, the disabled, single parents, and then the general public.
From assessments that we received, we found that some 1,222 homes needed some degree of assistance. And looking at our figures over the past week, we have completed about 200 homes that would have been repaired. These homes that the government would have paid for through our repair teams to have reconstructed. But there are hundreds of other persons who we would have given material to, with the pledge that they would repair their own homes with the materials.
According to Captain Russell, NEMA intends to conduct an audit of the program shortly to determine if the people who would have received the materials to repair their homes have done so. He added NEMA expects to have the repair and reconstruction phase well underway by March, but efforts have been hampered by a shortage of manpower. The agency intends to find more teams to deploy.
Hope now over the course of the remainder of this month to double up the number of teams in some areas. So we're recruiting now persons to a certain extent from New Providence to go into certain islands that need some assistance. Where they had manpower challenges, we're now going to find some teams to go there now to assist those persons. But again, we're trying to find out where there's suitable accommodations for additional teams going into the islands. And that's coming on gradually as people repair their homes or their properties. So then they say now, yes, we are up and running, we can now make our properties available for rental or for use.